Abby and Kat were born in 1997 and became best friends when they were 6. Grew up together and started a band and bonded over music ever since. 20 years later, they are all grown up and spend their free time analyzing lyrics. Now here they are talking all about their Lord and Savior Dr. Taylor Allison Swift. Taylor, if you're listening, we love you.
Welcome to Swift Lore Podcast, where we dive in the lyrics and lore of our Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift.
Absolutely, that's why we're here.
I'm Kat.
I'm Abby.
And we're so far away.
I know. It's weird.
I look so empty on this whole set just for me. And Spear's not in her CRATE because you're not here, so she's not all excited.
I definitely am glad that we usually record in person. This is strange. I don't love it.
I'm in a meeting. I'm gonna stop paying attention in like 5 minutes.
That's
I realize that I don't need to be here, and it could have been an email.
I'm currently in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I went to Provincetown a couple of times this week, which is known for like gay people, which is great. And I'm also recording in front of a closet, which is great. And that's because this week,
in honor of Pride and the fact that we are both big ol' queers, we are covering songs that the Sapphics have claimed. Disclaimer: Taylor Swift is not gay. She is not queer. She is an ally, and we love that for her. But speculating on her sexuality is fucking weird, and if you do it, you're fucking weird, and that's full offense.
Yeah, don't speculate on anyone's sexuality. However, we chose songs today that, as Kat said, Sapphics have claimed. So
the Sapphics.
Yes.
Because I think these songs, like, just the vibes are very, like, I know my song, she only uses you as a pronoun, like she doesn't use gendered pronouns at all. So like I know that's a big moment. Like back when I was in the closet, I would only write songs with you pronouns because if you say you, then nobody knows what gender you're talking about.
You.
Soulja Boy could be gay. We don't know.
I'm so glad we started off on that note.
And on that note, I'm covering Dress.
I'm covering Ivy.
How's one to know, you know?
How's one to know? I sure didn't until I was about 23.
I was on Tumblr for too long in 2011, and now I'm a lesbian.
I was in the closet so long that by the time I came out, literally everyone was just like, well, you didn't know? Like, I was the
Honestly,
last
I thought you came out much earlier than 23. Did I know before then? I knew before then, right?
People suspected. I think I just wasn't like fully committing to the best. Yeah, but that wasn't in a gay way. That was in a bro way.
That's true. That's true.
Like, listeners, you get it.
I was really drunk and I was just like, Abby, am I a good kisser?
And I was like not that drunk. And I was like, let's find out.
And that was the night that I realized I'm a lesbian and Abby realized she was asexual.
Which is especially funny because after that night you dated our ex. So there we go.
No, that was the night that I realized I had to break up with our ex. Was
there
more than, did we make up more than once?
No, I think it was just once.
Okay, but it was at Liv's, which is also where I met our ex.
I mean, Liv's house is the place where gays happen, you know? That's what it is. I've cut that story several times, I think. I don't know if I'll leave it in this time. Maybe for Pride Month I will.
For Pride we'll put it on the internet.
Oh, do it for Pride, man.
Do it for Pride. Do it for your mom who asks why we aren't dating sometimes.
My mom wants it so bad.
I'm so sorry, Sharon. I'd be a great daughter-in-law.
That's true. You would be. And on that note, I think you should begin.
I should. It feels less fun without you here. Well, let's cover Dress.
It's so much less fun.
We're like, we'll try it out and see how it feels. Bad. It feels bad. Dress. This is track 12 on Reputation. Hopefully, it'll be track 12 on Reputation Taylor's version if we ever fucking get it. I hate streaming the stolen version, and I have to. Because what am I gonna do? I'm gonna not listen to Dress. What is in America? It's a free country. Let me be. Let me be. This song was written and produced by Swift and Off. Um, and a lot of queer people relate to the song, as I said before, because of the non-gendered pronouns that are used, and also the like hidden relationship nature. But I wrote another disclaimer in that speculating on Taylor's sexuality is dumb because I don't want to do that. I also just rewatched Inside.
I've been meaning to do that.
I just did. Um, I'm here. I'm still mentally ill, but no worse than I was, so that's good. So the performance history of the song is that it was on the Rep Tour set list. So on the Rep Tour, she dedicated this the performance of Dress to Louis Fuller, who Taylor said fought for artists to own their own work. She was a dancer in the late 1800s, early 1900s, who famously like invented this kind of new style of dance and then like worked really hard to be able to like perform at some place, finally got her shot, and then everybody loved it and immediately stopped booking her and started booking all of these like younger, hotter acts that were just copying her stuff. So then she left America, moved to Europe, became friends with the Queen. Her Wikipedia page is wild. She was also famously a lesbian. Um, so we love
Hmm.
that. There is actually a gay connection for Dress. So the Sapphics claimed it because Taylor said, "This is for y'all,
We
a
love
gift."
that.
She said, "Happy Pride. You need to calm down," is the corporate pride. Dress is for the real ones. This was also an Eras Tour surprise song on August 7th, 2023 at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. In terms of personal connections, I loved this song so much when Rep came out that I several months later started a situationship with a friend. Wouldn't recommend. Would not recommend. It doesn't hit like Dress. It just sucks. And then you have to be friends for them with them for years as they successfully date other people and you don't.
Yep, that's rough.
So that's the moral of the story that I got from Dress. Take from it what you may. Um, Overall, my interpretation of this song is that it's horny and Taylor said fuck your friends.
And how do we feel about hooking up with our friends?
Boo.
Unless you're doing it in a bro way.
Unless you're doing it in a bro way.
No
It
homo.
can be homo, but it can't be Romo.
Exactly. This is like a huge discourse, though. I know a lot of people that are just like, you can hook up with your friends, that's fine.
I feel like in theory you can, but I feel like also a lot of times it gets very messy very fast.
Mm.
Especially like if I think a lot of times people hook up with their friends because they're like, haha, it's funny. But then like one of them starts developing feelings and then the other one doesn't because it started out as a bit and then now it's not a bit.
That
The
truly,
bit to
like,
no bit
almost
life.
always happens.
Yeah. It's not like whatever that Friends with Benefits movie is where they end up happy at the end. That usually doesn't happen.
Here's Friends with Benefits and No Strings Attached, which came out the same year and
Yeah,
feature
they were just like, this is an easy script. We'll just that was pre-AI. They were just like, all right, we'll put a bunch of coked up writers in a room and let them throw shit at the script.
and a married couple was in it, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, but they were in the different ones.
I thought they were in the same one.
Nope.
That's so funny.
Isn't it weird?
I love that for them. You're probably like, babe, I got pitched this great script today.
I really want to know what that conversation was like because it's Ashton and Natalie Portman and then Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake.
Oh, that's why I got them confused because all men look the same, especially
Right,
those
right.
two. They
No, I
both
get it.
have hair that's short.
But yeah, same year. Same year, basically same movie.
That's so funny. So we'll get right into the song. The first line are secret moments in a crowded room. Um, I talk every episode about how Taylor sets the scene with her first line. So there's like immediately, obviously, secret, a lot of secrecy. Um, the like sneaking around in plain sight. Also, kind of a connection to illicit affairs. What started in beautiful rooms ends with meetings in parking lots. Womp womp. They got no idea about me and you. They are back. Taylor loves to use they as like the amorphous media haters, general public vibe. Um, love that for her. But also, again, like they don't know who they actually are, and they also don't know that they're together. So it kind of does that like double duty of like they don't know me, they don't know you, they don't know about me and you being a thing because we're secret. Um, there's an indentation in the shape of you. An indentation where? I don't really know. Like it's a weird line because it's like, is it indentation like in her bed at home because she talks about her bed posts later? Like, is it that or is it like an indentation like in her self, like in her soul? Like death by a thousand cuts, my hips, my heart, my body, my soul. That's not right, but
It's
they're all
close.
things in there.
I think it's both. I think it's literally an indent in the bed, and then I also think it's like in her.
I also wonder if it's like she's used to like being next to and like holding this person, and so it's like her body feels like there's an indentation where like they're supposed to fit. Who's to say? Um, major mark on me, a golden tattoo. So this person left their mark behind like a tattoo, which is impossible to remove usually. Um, and then also generally like tattoos are meant to be like purposely designed and beautiful, and not stick and pokes that your friends give you on your college dorm floor. Another thing I wouldn't recommend doing that I did in college. Um, and it's a golden tattoo, so it's golden like daylight. Once believed love would be burning red, but it's golden. And I mean, throughout Reputation and Lover, she talks a lot about like things being gold. All of this silence and patience, pining in anticipation. First of all, like the rhythm of this line is so good, and just like the cadence of it is just chef's kiss. It's so good. Who surprise everybody. I like Reputation. Um, but then also just like the pure yearning that all of these like adjectives just bring to the surface, like the silence, the patience, the pining, the anticipation of like knowing that once you're not in public anymore, like you're going to be like together again. Um, it's a good time. Being in public and not feeling comfortable with your partner sucks, but like if you're doing it on purpose in a way that's not like a closet coded way, it's kind of good. Anyways, that didn't come out right because I don't know what I'm saying.
That's okay. I've got like no, I don't even have the brain cell at all right now.
Oh, it must, you know what? It's in the telephone wire, like in maroon.
Oh yeah.
It's lost. It's lost in translation.
That's true. And it's taken its time getting back and forth, which is why it's just not.
Time wondrous time. I don't have thoughts. I just have Taylor Swift lyrics that I'm just flinging out at
Yeah,
random.
those are always there. They're always just, in the brain. Brain
I'm
cell or no.
speaking in code. The code is just Taylor Swift. My hands are shaking from holding back from you. Like the idea of her wanting to touch him so bad that her hands are shaking because she's just like actively reminding herself like I can't touch him, like the casual touches and like things are not, I can't do that right now is so like it makes me wonder if it's because this whole song is like they're already together, but this first verse I kind of used to think of it as a like almost before they got together, like they're about to get together kind of vibe. So it's like it's a pre-chorus, like they're about to get together and her hands are shaking because she's trying so hard to like hold back from acting on her feelings. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just have a podcast where I talk about things.
I mean, it's
That
fine. It's
that's why
fine.
it's fine. And then There's little ahs. We love the little ahs. They're so breathy. They're so cool.
We do love the ahs. Those are sexual. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this whole song is sexual. There's this clip from the behind the scenes, the Road to Fearless documentary, where there was some dance move that Taylor had done in rehearsal. I think it had to do with her like because that was the era when she would like drop to her knees and like do dramatic singing, whatever. And her mom was just like, I think that if I brought like my 8-year-old to a show and I saw them doing that, like I would be like covering their eyes. And then people love to use that and then stitch it with like this song, any part of this song, or just like vigilante shit dance.
I mean, yeah.
It'd be like that. But that's what this whole song makes me think of. Um, all of this silence and patience, pining and desperately waiting instead of anticipation, like which desperately waiting is just a more intense version of anticipation. So like even through this song and like this pre-chorus is just like building and it's just like building up and then the chorus hits and it's like so good. But like the way that she's lyrically building up anticipation by using a synonym is so good. And then my hands are shaking from all this. So not just like holding back from you, it's like everything that's going on, making my hands shake. Like there's so many things happening. You were gonna say something.
Literally, the only thing I have about this chorus is that it's just so. It's literally they banging,
They're banging.
they banging.
Say my name and everything just stops. Love. Um, just like something as simple as saying her name makes it feel like the world is stopping.
Well, also she's saying that she's shaking, like she's shaking, pulling away. She's shaking from everything, and then like this person says their name, and just everything stops. Like she stops shaking, and it doesn't matter. Like nothing else matters.
It's just, yeah, because I don't want you like a best friend. We love a direct queen. She doesn't want friendship, she wants love. She knows what it's like to hang out with a best friend, and she knows that this is not the want to hang out in a friend way because Taylor Swift says don't fuck your friends.
That's what she is sponsoring with the song. I think that's the most, again, not speculation, but that line leads most to the queer theory for me. Like, I don't want you like a best friend because a lot of times, me, you feel like you have this best friend, and then you figure out later that you have feelings for them, and you're like, oh no, I don't want you like a best friend, you know?
Yeah, been there.
I think that's a
Oh,
very common
oh,
queer
middle school.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, like I think I've talked about the quote before on here of like love is friendship set on fire. And it's like that idea of like when you're younger and you're queer, you can't like quite tell the difference between like this is my best friend and like this is my best friend that I want to be with all the time. And I think about her and her hair is so pretty. And have you ever seen her eyes? If
Yeah,
you have thoughts like
exactly.
this, you might be gay.
For real.
Just Google gay quiz and you figure it out.
If you're Googling gay quiz, sweetie, I got something to tell you.
Remember? Oh, in honor of Pride, let me tell you guys about the time that I was Googling gay quiz and physically sitting in the closet of my childhood bedroom, Googling am I gay? And then and then my friend that I had a crush on, like friend broke up with me, which was devastating. So
Mm.
then I just whoop put it all back in the back of my brain for 2 full years.
Once again, Cat
I
chose
just
repression.
it was super effective
Yeah.
for 2 years. And then I was like in gym class and a girl was wearing yoga pants and I just went, oh no, I'm bisexual. And then I wasn't.
The yoga pants of it all. I mean, man, those things I think made a lot of young girls realize they were queer.
It's true. So thank you. That's why this Pride we're sponsored by Victoria's Secret. Can you imagine? That'd be so funny.
I
No, we're
wish.
not.
No, no one sponsored us today. We're just gay.
We're just gay. So we're sponsored by Yearning. Um, the next line. Only bought this dress so you could take it off. Spoicy.
Okay.
Spoicy. it's like a reverse revenge dress where like the revenge dress was supposed to be like, you don't have this anymore and you could have. Now it's not that. It's like you can have this. Literally just come and get it. I bought this dress so that you would take it off of me. Like that was the whole point. So come on, let's get to it. Snap snap.
I
Um
also I think it's so real to think about this person that you really like that you want to impress and you get it. Maybe it's not a dress, but like an outfit that you wear just for them, just for him. But like to quote illicit affairs. But you know, in a cute, fun way. Um
yeah.
wearing
I also
something.
connected it to another like in I'm gonna get him back. I don't know
Oh
how am
yeah.
I supposed to say, like really fast? I'm gonna get him back. Like,
I'm
how
gonna
do
be
you say
back.
that? I'm gonna get him back.
I'm gonna rock.
She says lilac short skirt, the one that fits me like skin. And like she's talking about
Mm.
wearing an outfit to like seduce them to get him back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like so I had a first date outfit for a while. This was not meant for people to take off, by the way. But like I had like an outfit where I'm like, I look
That's
and
the
feel
third
cute
date
in this.
outfit.
That yeah, that's the third date outfit. Anyway, dress is about the third date outfit.
True.
Confirmed.
And that's stress. We just stop there. And then we have more of the ahs. Carve your name into my bedpost. There's like the stereotype of people who like sleep with a lot of people and just see it as like conquest would carve notches in their bedpost
I'm
to
just
like
a notch in your
signify.
bedpost, but you're just alone
I
in the
had to stop
song.
myself so many times from putting that in my notes, and I don't know why I stopped myself, but
Well, it's
maybe because I
okay.
knew this
I
was
was
gonna
right
happen.
there for you.
But this is kind of like an inverse of that, where it's like you don't want a notch of just like, yeah, we had sex, done, check. It's like put your name because it's like all the other notches don't mean a thing. All the girls you loved before mean nothing. Um,
True. I also think
and then
it
I also wrote that the notch in the bedpost is what people did before notes apps. Who doesn't have a notes app of everyone they slept with?
oh,
And
that's
if you're a
so good.
virgin, you can just have it as the title and it can just be blank. All right.
I was gonna
Happy
say,
Pride.
man,
Say your
okay.
probably more serious note.
I no, it's not a serious note, it's a wholesome note because my mind isn't in the gutter, cat. I was gonna say,
Covering dress. I had to think about dress extensively today.
okay, that's
Where
fair,
else
that's
was my
fair,
mind
that's
to
fair,
be?
that's fair, that's fair. I was just thinking about how couples go to like trees in the park and carve their names, but this is like that, but sexy.
Have I ever told you? I mean, I think I've told you, but not the podcast, about when me and Brienne we went to Yosemite over the summer, as part of a like California road trip. We went to this one like popular waterfall spot, whatever, and there was like a tree where there was names carved into it, and we were like, "Oh my God, look it says David, which is Brienne's now fiance. That's so funny." And then we looked next to it, and it has Pandy carved into it, which is her brother-in-law's nickname. Like his name is Andrew, and his nickname is Pandy, and it literally had David and Pandy carved next to each other on the like this fallen tree trunk. And I was just like, I think we need to leave right now.
That's weird.
I was like, should I look and see if there's anybody on there for me? You see any female names? No,
That's funny.
I got spooked and I was like, we need to go right immediately now.
That
Because
was a
that's
glitch.
freaky.
That was a
Because
glitch in
like
the
Pandy
simulation.
is not a normal name.
No, what you
It
experienced was not correct.
it was creepy. All right, so dress. Once again, because I don't want you like a best friend. I love that she's just like, let me reiterate this, just in case the first time around you didn't get it. I don't want you like a best friend. Only
Hmm.
bought this dress so you could take it off. I love when she repeats stuff because she's just like, you, just in case, just in case it's not clicking, click, click.
Repetition is the key to remembering things.
Repetition is a key to, she's once again like manifesting her way into a boyfriend. And I love that for her. Verse 2, inescapable, I'm not even gonna try. Like the idea that she can't escape the way that she feels, even if she did try, but she doesn't want to try because she doesn't think there's a point to it. And also, she doesn't want to stop feeling this way. And if I get burned, at least we were electrified. There's a lot of like other quotes that I was thinking of that kind of have that same idea of like it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. It's better to burn out than fade away. Like the idea of having something that's very intense and short term is better than like always thinking back and thinking what if, which is so real. Um, I'm spilling wine in the bathtub, just like me for real. Except I don't spill my wine because I'm not a trillionaire. Um,
Yeah, I could never, I don't think I would ever want to do that because one, waste of wine, two, waste of wine, three, sticky.
well, I assume that you're in the bathtub and there's also water in the bathtub. So like a little spill of
Oh,
wine would
we're
make
not
all the
filling a
bath water.
bathtub with wine.
I spill my wine in the bathtub. To me, doesn't say fill bathtub with wine. Instructions unclear, sticky bath.
This is the ace trying to look at the song dress. Holy crow. All right. So she's not taking a bath in wine. Got it. Okay.
I'm obsessed with you.
Normal people do? Sorry, not normal. Aloe people? Aloe people.
I mean, I've just like taken a bath and been drinking wine in the bath. That's a normal thing that people do.
That's a normal thing that people do. It
So
doesn't even
she's
have
like,
to be sexy.
I don't, I never do it in a sexy way. I only drink wine in the bath in a purely non-sexual manner, and that's a fact. You kiss my face and we're both drunk. I'm like, so is he also in the bath? Because I haven't really
Great
thought
question.
that deeply about this line before, and I feel like I don't want that to be the case. I want it to be like he just happens to be in the room and like kisses her face, or this is a post-bath interaction. I just really need Taylor to iron out the timeline for me here because I really am left with a lot of questions that I don't want to be asking. I don't want to have these thoughts, but here I am
Okay.
having them.
Okay, so we get to interview Taylor Swift on the pod. First thing we say, loved you in the Lorax. Second thing we say, we need a timeline on the song Dress. We
And
just need
she's
to
just
make a
like, I
list
bought
of
the dress, I put the dress on, he took it off. That's what more. I'm like, what about the bathtub?
what about it, Taylor? Give us the answers that we so desperately crave.
We need to know. The
Did
public
you
needs to
bathe in
know.
the wine?
Um, so you kiss my face and we're both drunk. We're leaving the logistics out of it. Um, so like she's already been drinking, but he doesn't even need to drink to be drunk. He just is like he's love drunk. He kisses her face. Not even like they kiss. It's just like a forehead kiss, and he's just like like that's so real. When you have a crush on someone and they do some cute shit, or like you do some cute shit and they think it's cute too, immediately I should not be operating vehicles, you know?
That's true. Alternatively, she still has some wine on her face from her little bath.
She spilled it like on her head.
Yeah, and now like it is a literal getting drunk off that face wine from her wine bath.
Because, in the words of Taylor Swift, I'm drunk.
Mm-hmm. I'm drunk when I'm kissing your face, and I cry like a baby in my sexy wine bath.
Well, um, everyone thinks that they know us. Um, this is just like a continuous theme throughout all of Reputation is about like their reputations, people thinking that they know them, thinking that they understand them, in reality not knowing anything. So we love that. But they know nothing about. Again, they only know like the public versions of Taylor and her partner. They don't know anything about who they are behind closed doors. At this point, it seems like they don't even know that they're together, so like they really don't know anything. Um, and also that line like leads directly into the pre-chorus, so they know nothing about all of this silence and patience, pining and anticipation. Um, Same pre-chorus as last time, same chorus as last time, still horny, still bedpost. Um, and then there's a post-chorus this time that just has like extra ahs and only bought this dress so you can take it off. She's really just hammering this point home. She's like, do you understand? Do you get it? Do you catch the vibe? Um, and I feel that yes, he did based off of this bridge. Um, Flashback when you met me. Hold on to the memories, they will hold on to you. Taylor loves, she loves a retrospective. Like it's her favorite. She loves it. Your buzz cut and my hair bleached. Butch GF, Fem GF vibes, you know?
And
But
Brichella.
yeah, I was gonna say in actuality, it's like Bleachella era is when she met her boyfriend that this album allegedly is all about. And he had a buzz cut with the Met Gala where they met, allegedly. Um, Even in my worst times, you could see the best in me. We love when someone loves you at your worst and still sees the good in you, and not like seeing the bad and being it's not like he saw the bad and accepted the bad. It's that he saw the bad and said, I can tell like what parts of this aren't you. Which is just like the rest of the song is obviously very horny, but that's sweet.
That is sweet. That's Reputation in a nutshell though. It's like it is very sweet underneath the like war, you know?
Yeah, and that's I mean, I can't remember if I said mine. I know I wrote it down. I don't know if I said it, but like in the arc of Reputation, this song is track 12 of I think 15. So it's like pretty late in the album when things have started to like mellow out and she's found this love and like found comfort and like safety in it in a way that lets her be more vulnerable and more open again. Whereas the
Mhm.
first half of the album is very much like I'm putting on this really scary face and I'm really intense and like but it's delicate. But look what you made me do. She's like
Right.
delicate. She's just like, oh look, some vulnerability. I'm gonna be crazy again. Which I love that for her. That's why I love Reputation because I too am crazy. Flashback to my mistakes. Um, People love to say that Taylor is like always plays the victim and all this stuff, and then they will just ignore any time that she takes accountability or like admits to making mistakes.
Oh yeah, it's just confirmation bias.
It's just confirmation bias. My rebounds, my earthquakes. She famously had a rebound after the person that I forgot that you existed is allegedly about an unnamed man who wore an I Heart TS shirt at her 4th of July party. Um
Right.
allegedly. Um and then I I think the earthquake kind of refers to the whole Kimye scandal and how um there was kind of like an earthquake through pop culture with that and like very much it divided a lot of people. There's the people who supported Taylor and the people who were wrong. Um, so this is why we have nice things, you know?
True.
Even in my worst lies, you saw the truth in me. So again, with like him not seeing like, oh, it's a lie, but also seeing to the truth of it, which I think is like a lot deeper than just seeing that like, because a lot of times you can tell when someone's lying, but you can't tell what parts of the lie are the truth.
Yeah.
So to me, it speaks to like a very high level of intimacy that like they're able to distinguish that.
Yeah.
And I woke up just in time. Now I wake up by your side. So cute. And I love the flip there of like I woke up in time to realize that like I don't want you as a best friend, and now I wake up by your side. So like now we're together and we like have this casual intimacy as well as horny intimacy. Um, and like, paper rings. Now I've read all of the books beside your bed. I love that.
Yeah.
My one and only, my lifeline. We know she was going through it during this era,
Mhm.
and like this person was a big lifeline to her and like kept her grounded and kept her going during a time where it would have been very easy to just like completely crumble under all the pressure of the world. And then she repeats, I woke up just in time, now I wake up by your side, because again, repetition is the key to remembering things. Um, my hands shake. I can't explain this. So the hand shaking are back. But this time it's like because she's just so full of like love and longing for this person that like she can't explain it, and the inability to speak is just like making her hands shake because she's like, oh, I know what I want to say and I don't know how to say it, which for somebody who like in to quote you're in love spent her whole life trying to put it into words. Like to be experiencing it finally in a way that like you can't name must have been like such a big moment.
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely agree.
And then the chorus is the same. It's just more fun. There's a little drop. The music stops. The same name, everything just stops.
I love that part.
It's so good. Um, and then there's an outro that just kind of brings back some of the lyrics from the first verse, and then also the only bought this dress so you could take it off. Um, sorry, I was reading my note which says she's bringing it back to the first verse and tying it into the horniness. Anyways,
We love a horny tie-in.
we do. Like she's forever marked by him, and even when they can't publicly like be together or be expressing their feelings, she's still forever changed by him. And that is Dress. My discussion question is, have you ever gone from friends to dating someone? Which we both have. This is more for the folks at home than for us. And yeah, so that's now it's over to you.
To me,
To you.
Ivy. For those who were trying to guess from the hit songs last week, when you look up Sweatpants by Childish Gambino on Spotify, it starts with the letters IV, like the Roman numeral for four. And it was just the first thing that happened in my brain when I was trying to come up with a hit song. So I apologize. And also, you're welcome. Ivy is the 10th track off of Taylor's ninth album, Evermore, released December 11th, 2020. The track 10 on Folklore is Illicit Affairs, which is another song about infidelity,
Mm.
which I thought was interesting.
It is interesting because there's a lot of other parallels between the two album track lists, so that's
Yeah,
interesting.
interesting. Um, this song is 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. Heyo,
Please it.
blaze it. Um, this song doesn't have a Wikipedia page. Womp womp. I literally wrote womp womp in my notes.
A loss. A loss
I'm
for girls and gays
a dork.
everywhere.
Truly, Evermore has a page. So I was reading through that. But Ivy does not have a page, and Taylor doesn't really talk about the song very much. She has said very little about it. Um, but fans speculate and have claimed this as like a queer song. Which is interesting to me because I never read it that way. I'm also just like a massive victim of compet. So like pretty much every
Fair
media I
enough.
consume, I'm always just like, oh, so it's just like, man and a woman, because that's how it is. And then people are just like, Abby, it's queer. And I'm like, oh, right, yeah, you're right. You know?
Whereas I watch something and I'm just like, are they gonna kiss? And then they don't, and I'm like, I think it would have been so much better if the girls kissed.
I've gotten better about it, but I think for whatever reason in music, I'm still very stuck in the heterosexual mindset. I don't know what the deal is there.
It could be because Taylor Swift is heterosexual, so you were
That's
listening to
probably
it
that's
from a
probably it. I never even really considered any of her songs to be queer, and then but I love the discussion about it. So this song is speculated to be about lesbians, or specifically a woman who's married to a man who then runs off and has a little sapphic little romance,
which we love that for her, other than the compet of it all.
which we love, except for the compact. Exactly. Um, so despite Taylor never having really said much about the song and the speculation around the song, and of course Folklore and Evermore aren't necessarily autobiographical in any way to begin with, she did approve it to be used in the TV show Dickinson, which
Mm,
I didn't know this. It is used. Okay, spoilers for people who haven't yet seen the show Dickinson, I guess. I
or
don't know if
don't
it's
know
a spoiler
history.
though, because it's based on a true story, right?
Yeah.
This song is featured after, a sapphic love scene. Um, and so,
You're like spoiler, and then you gave the most vague thing.
well, okay, I'm gonna go
Spoiler, there's
further.
lesbians.
Spoiler, lesbians. I mean, come on, it's called Dickinson. Do the math.
You went to an
They,
all-girl school. Come on.
they can't do math. They're gay.
I dated
Um,
somebody from her alma mater college.
mm, um,
Just a fun fact.
I love that fun fact. So, the creator of the show chose the song because of the speculation. I also loved that this creator named either Alina or Elena And they said in an interview with BuzzFeed, I wanted that song because it means so much to the fans who have all convinced themselves that Taylor wrote it about Emily and Sue. And I love how they're just like, all the fans convinced themselves.
No, but they're so real for that because when I've watched like part of the first season of Dickinson. There's some cringy moments that made me turn it off, but that's just a me thing. I think it's a good show.
Mhm.
But like when Ivy first came out and I saw edits, I was like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, because that's what happened is there was a TikTok edit of Emily and her best friend Sue, and also I think yeah, Sue married Emily's brother Austin, so it like sort of fits with the song in that way as well. And Taylor approved the song to be used. So there you go. She said gay
Taylor
rights.
said gay rights. Oh, I
She
like
did.
that. I was also saying the same joke, but my brain was moving slower.
I love that for us. So, but that means that this song is officially part of the Taylor Swift Song-O-Matic universe.
True.
And this scene using Ivy and Dickinson is very important to LGBT people who watch the show. This was
Gay
performed as a
rights.
surprise song at the Eras Tour on July 1st, 2023 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and again as part of a mashup with Would've, Could've, Should've on February 26th in Sydney, Australia.
I I'm sure that I listened to the Ivy would have could have should have mashup, but conceptually, I don't get it.
I know,
I
I
have to
don't
listen to it.
either. I think I make one connection to it in my notes, and I don't see the vision. But
But
they're
we're not
both
Taylor Swift
they're both
for a reason.
amazing songs. So I would listen. Um, Genius said that alongside Tolerate It and Nobody No Crime, Ivy is part of the Unhappily Ever After anthology of marriages, which reunites infidelity, pure toleration, and even murder. Genius did the most. Genius had so much in the little article that I was reading where I was like, I don't know.
I don't know, you have a lot of big emotions. Some people work at Genius, some people go to therapy, you know?
You're so real for that. Um, Personal connections. I've listened to this song so many times that I know the starting note. So when I see it come up that Ivy's playing next when I have music on shuffle, I come in at the same exact time on the same note as Taylor Swift, and it makes me feel like
Play.
we're duetting.
You are.
It's also annoying for anyone in the car with me. Um, in my opinion, these are some of the poetic, if not the most poetic, just like consistently gorgeous, mind-bogglingly beautiful lyrics that Taylor has in a single song.
Mhm. I fully agree with that.
It is so good. It is wild. Um, when Taylor talked about like writing in the three different categories, this is definitely a quill pen song or quill feather quill song. Quill pen. I'm doing my best. All right, and now we can get into the lyrics. My God, why was I in such a silly, goofy mood from the top, from the tippity top? All right, so we start with the first line. How's one to know? I wrote Paul Rudcore. Who'd have thought? Not me. I think we have a meme. I think we have a good
I,
meme.
I love anytime Paul Rudd gets brought up, I'm in.
I allowed myself to be silly goofy as long as it's Paul Rudd themed.
Paul Rudd always gets a silly goofy pass.
That's true. He just gets a pass. I just love
Paul
that
Rudd,
man.
come on the pod.
Paul Rudd, come on the pod. I would lose my mind. But also
Can you
for some
imagine?
reason, he feels like someone that I would just talk to normally.
I feel like he would come on the podcast as like a bit.
And then we
I
would
just want
just
him to
watch
come on and
Mac
be
and
like, and
me.
how did Taylor Swift inspire your performance in Celery Man?
He'd be like, "Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I watched her music videos on repeat before I went on set." Like he would just make up a story. I love Paul Rudd.
That's the thing is like it wouldn't be a true answer, but it would be a funny one, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So I think we should rally for Paul. Paul on the pod.
Paul on the pod.
Hashtag
And
Paul on the pod.
hashtag.
Both of us thought hashtag at the same time. All right. So, how's one to know? I'd meet you where the spirit meets the bones. Wow. Okay. So,
I feel like one of those cats when you put like a piece of cheese on their forehead and they just like reel back. Like that is my reaction every single time that I hear the first line of the song. It's just like
It is, it's truly so
It's the poster
lyrically
behind.
intense. It's just whiplash. You're so right for that. A cat with a piece of cheese on it. Oh my gosh.
Am I wrong?
Oh, you're not wrong. Um, so this seems to be referencing a 1997 poem by Miller Williams called Compassion. At the end it says, "You do not know what wars are going on down there where the spirit meets the bone." Um, Interesting. We know that Taylor likes poetry, so it's possible that she took it from that. Or also sometimes people just come up with the same phrases organically. Who's to say?
It's true.
Um, where the spirit meets the bone could mean a couple of things. It could be talking about a graveyard, as in like I'd meet you there at the graveyard at our secret place, or it could be talking about like I'll meet you at this like at a graveyard that usually resembles death. And we're talking about like the death of a marriage for the blossoming of this love affair, basically. So I'll meet you where the spirit, where this like this warm incandescent glow meets the bones of my marriage.
That's so interesting because I always thought of it as like a purely like metaphorical thing where it's like I'd meet you and like immediately it would be like our spirits are connecting and like we just like see each other through like to the bone.
Interesting. That's another interpretation. I That's one thing about poetry that like drives me crazy and also is so wonderful about poetry is that you can really read it so many different ways and they're all
Yeah.
right.
And I think this is like as somebody who studied poetry a lot, I feel like this is her song that has the most poetic license to it.
Absolutely. This song is just it's just a poem. It's like just a poem. Um the next line, "In a faith forgotten land." Uh wow, there's so much to be said about every line, so I'm going to try to just like capture as much as I can in a short amount of time.
Very much.
Um, this line to me in this song has always been about the narrator questioning her faith in her marriage and her vows, which are traditionally done in a church and like now forgotten, in order to pursue this affair. And so I always pictured this song to be about like an ongoing affair where she's a me, Mario. I always pictured in this song to be her cheating on her husband in this ongoing affair. But the genius came in and said that this song is about like the husband found out and killed the a partner. And
What?
that's why she's waiting at the where the spirit meets the bones. I don't think I've never read it that way. I
My
just
beloved ghost in me sitting in a
no.
tree.
How dare you?
Dying?
How dare you actually?
You're just
Episode
like,
over.
I
No.
think this would be a good time for a dramatic laptop flourish,
Dare I
but
say you are worse than genius?
many people have said that. But not on the New York Times spelling bee. I get genius every day, boy.
Oh. Yeah, so that's not just like I never thought of that interpretation before, ever. So, I don't know. Um, Next line. "In from the snow, your touch brought forth an incandescent glow." I talked about that a little bit earlier, but the partner brought life back into her, brought the spirit back to the bone sort of situation, like you were saying, brought warmth back in her body. And Taylor also said that this word incandescent was on her list of like words and phrases that she wanted to use in songs.
And I
Um,
just like love the idea of like in from the snow, like in from this barren, like
mm,
sterile environment that's just like known for being cold and like ruthless. And it's like in from the snow, coming from that environment, and then
True.
having like one touch, this like magical incandescent glow.
That's true. Yeah. And that word incandescent, it means that it's not like a pure white light. It's almost like a yellowish, but it's often seen as like more beautiful when you use an incandescent bulb, rather than like a pure light bulb.
It just reminded me to change the lights.
Oh, beautiful. Now they're incandescent. Which leads into the next line, "tarnished but so grand." Like the light isn't this pure white light, it's, you know, incandescent. And at the same time, the love that they're experiencing is this amazing, beautiful thing, but it's tarnished because the narrator is married. Okay. This pre-chorus, these next lines here are literally they have to be some of my favorite lyrics of hers of all time. I have never in my life found something else that I've listened to and been like, "Whoa, how did a human brain make
Hmm.
this?" Um yeah. I can't believe she wrote this from a standard human brain, is what I wrote.
That shit was factory model.
And the old widow goes to the stone every day, but I don't. I just sit here and wait, grieving for the living. That is,
I need to lay down. Just hearing the line read out loud, I need to lay down.
that is amazing. That is
That
amazing.
is a line that just makes me want to be horizontal,
Yeah.
not in a sexy way.
These songs both involve being horizontal to various degrees of sex. Anyway, so for the old widow goes to the stone every day. They're talking about this old widow who whose marriage ended in the proper way. She stayed faithful till death do us part, and now she is able to perform this ritual every day at a gravestone. But the narrator, she doesn't have that. She doesn't have a gravestone because nothing's actually dead yet. She doesn't get to express her feelings or represent her grief in the way that like this old widow does. And so she's grieving for the living, as in she's grieving for this thing that's still alive, this marriage that's technically still alive, her husband who's still alive, and herself. I think she's grieving for herself.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like she's grieving for the living and like not like the life that she's lost, like this future that she could have had with this other person
Mm-hmm.
that she lost because she's married to someone that she doesn't want to be with.
Right, exactly. Um, Here's my one tie into would have, could have, should have. If clarity's in death, then why won't this die?
Mm,
I don't know how this mashup went, and now I really want to listen to it, but I'll listen to it later.
true.
Um, for I just sit here and wait, and I think this might be kind of a discussion question. Is she sitting there waiting for the lover to come, or is she waiting for her marriage to crash and burn so she can be free of it?
That's a good question. Old widow goes to the stone every day. I'm repeating it as if it's a riddle that I need to like find a clue. I just sit here and wait. Like I don't. I think that she's just waiting for something to happen. That it's like she knows that both relationships can't survive, and she knows which one she wants to survive. But like it's like either way, you're going to be grieving because, I mean, she never really says that her husband is a bad person. She just
Mm,
clearly loves this other person more. So like the
yeah.
idea of like hurting somebody because they're just like not the right choice for you, also very gay. Um, yeah, so
I
I feel like it's like she's sitting there waiting for like one of the relationships to crumble
it's kind
and
of like
grieving
that
both of them at
scene.
the same time. Now I'm done.
It's kind of like that scene in The Incredibles where the kid's at the end of the driveway just waiting for something to happen.
True.
I gotta be silly goofy. Sorry, I bring the silly goofy vibes to the podcast. Um, Now for grieving for the living, I did just want to note there's the most amazing song that randomly stumbled across my TikTok by Lath Ross, who's this artist who I'm sure you've heard. They sang the
We'll never have sex.
"We'll Never Have Sex," which is another amazing song. Um, and they wrote this song called "Grieving." And it literally changed my brain chemistry. I heard it after I experienced my own loss, and it's all about like how you love people the most after they're gone, and so you should grieve while you're alive instead. Um, and I just have to shout that out. So everyone go listen to it. It's called Grieving by Lath Ross. It's amazing. Now we get into the chorus. Whoa.
Chorus.
Goddamn.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ooh, yeah.
You're just gonna Hannah Montana transition through the pain
Yeah, yeah.
to the,
Um,
the chorus.
so the chorus. I accidentally once added the clean version of the song to the playlist, and it was a really weird jump scare because she goes, "I can't." She just starts with "I can't," which doesn't really make sense with the next line of the song. Because it says like "I can't, my pain fits in the palm." Like it doesn't quite flow right. But anyway, I just remember being like, I think that's the one point in the song where the clean version doesn't really hit for me as much.
Mm.
I also
This
tend
kind
not
of
to
giving like I
use
can't even, but like that doesn't have a place
oh my
here.
gosh, I can't.
I can't even.
So for my pain fits in the palm of your freezing hand, Taylor talks so much about like take my hand, don't drop it. You drop my hand while dancing, all that stuff. We've talked about it a lot of times in the podcast. Um, so there's a couple of ways to interpret this. I interpret it as her pain seems so small when she's like holding this other person's hand, or it could also be that all the pain that she feels is sparked from the touch of hands, like in Mastermind, the touch of a hand lit the fuse. Um, it could also be like my engagement ring fits in the palm of your hand. Um, and then also the freezing hand is a callback to earlier when she said in from the snow. There's
Yeah,
lots.
I love it because also like the like freezing hand is the idea that this person is so like also fresh out of like this frozen sterile wasteland, and
Mm-hmm.
like they're both like fucked up in their own ways and trying to like fix each other, but also they're both like his hand is freezing.
Right, exactly. Taking mine, but it's been promised to another. I just wrote high infidelity. It's her hand has been promised to another. She's engaged. She's married. She's married. Yeah,
She
she's
would have
definitely married.
made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's already married.
What a shame, man. Don't you hate it when you meet your dream girl? She's already married. The worst. Oh, Anne is winter. I'm cold. Get out. Justice for the lover.
Get her a sweater and let her warm up and stop fucking your husband.
Oh my gosh.
Pride on the to-do list.
Okay. The next part of the chorus, I can't stop you putting roots in my dreamland. Oh, what?
Taylor.
Are you kidding me?
Roots in my dreamland? It's more likely than you think.
I love how this line, like, you know exactly what it means, but this string of words has never been put together like this before.
No, it's so good.
Like, I can't stop. She has no control of this person just taking over her entire mind when, like, it's all she thinks about, it's all she dreams about is this other person.
Her hands are shaking from holding back from all this.
Yes. My house of stone, your ivy grows, and now I'm covered in you. Again, Taylor, hello, hi, what? I can't, as some might say. Uh,
Honestly, to bring it back to Emily Dickinson, the college that she went to, very much lots of brick buildings with vine on them
really? I believe it.
in Massachusetts.
Oh yeah. That's where I am right now.
Oh my gosh.
Easter egg.
Easter egg.
Um, so the house of stone could be the house with her husband that she lives in. It could also be a grave, like a house of stone.
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum. Ivy is traditionally a symbol. Ivy is traditionally a symbol of love, and it can also take over and damage a house that it grows over. All of a sudden, you can't see the stone anymore. All you can see is this green ivy. Um, so still self-explanatory here, but just like the most beautiful imagery to describe this.
I also think of like Little Red Riding Hood and like the maybe not Little Red Riding Hood, just like the big bad wolf's gonna like blow your house down. But it's like if you
Mm,
build the house of stone, like that's the house that doesn't get blown down
right.
by the big bad wolf. So it's like this impenetrable house of stone that like it's impenetrable and it's unbreakable. They're like because it's this very steady person. Like even though their hand is freezing, they're still reaching out and holding her pain because they're
Mm-hmm.
inside their stone house that's not going to crumble,
That's true. Yeah.
even though it's covered. Or she's the house. I'm mixing my metaphors.
I, I think everything's right. I think the song is just like the vibes, like
That's
what's going
true.
on, even if
She's
the
like, I'm gonna
details are a
say a
little
lot of
fuzzy.
words. I'm gonna be coming at you fast. Get your
Keep up.
dictionary
She's
out.
like, match my tempo.
She's like, and 5, 6, 7, 8. You are gay. You are sad. You have a husband. Oh no.
Exactly right. That's the song.
That's and then follow us on Instagram.
Cat's single, Ivy, Cat's version will be on all streaming platforms for Pride Month. Happy gay besties. Wow.
The more
Amazing.
painful a song is, the more bits we're gonna do during the episode. That's
I
just
think I think that's true. Yeah. It's like because like the more campy
because we
songs, we're
both
just
use
like
humor to cope, so we're just like, hee hee.
that's when we're at we're funniest. Our funniest. Um, second verse. I wish to know the fatal flaw that makes you long to be magnificently cursed. Um,
Don't we all, Taylor?
don't we all? All right. So the first thing I threw in a Shakespeare reference for you, Kat. Wherefore art thou Romeo? Like, why do you have to be this forbidden fruit? Um, because as I learned way too late in life, I'm sure most people know, wherefore means why and not where. So it's like, why are you of the, oh gosh, it's not a Capulet. What's his family?
He's a Montague.
Yeah, why are you of the Montague family that's against my family, the Capulets? Like, why does that have to be the way?
And
And this
then
is
what does he
like,
say in response? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet,
oh,
which
you're
she
so right.
references in the Albatross. I know I'm right.
That's true.
I have a dog named Shakespeare. I hope
That's
I'm
true.
right.
um,
If not, real awkward. After I
that
return
would
the
be
dog, it'd be a whole thing.
awkward. Um, so yeah, and magnificently cursed being like this love is a beautiful, amazing thing that's also dark and treacherous, referencing another Taylor song. Haha. Um, like why does the person want to be with the narrator so badly if it's clearly a bad idea? If like I'm married, why are you so cursed? You're so magnificently cursed to want to be with a married woman. It's putting the blame on the lover for a lot of this song, but not in a way where it's like this is your fault. It's just in a way where it's like you did this. You came
It
into my
also
life.
gives me like gorgeous vibes of like, you're so gorgeous, I can't say anything to your face because look at your face. It's like blaming
Mm,
them for being so perfect and attractive because it's like, what, I was supposed to not fall in love with you, but
yeah,
like I met you where the spirit meets the bone. Like, make it make sense.
right. Or in So High School, where she says, I feel so high school every time I look at you. But look at you, you know?
Exactly. Where she's just like, oh, I was supposed to not, I can't help falling in love with you. You know, that's
Literally,
the
like
like
I
most
can't.
famous love song of all time.
Exactly. Yeah. Um, and then it also reminded me of would it be enough if I could never bring you peace? Because like this person is magnificently cursed. They're entering a relationship that's going to, spoiler alert, result in fire, basically. Fire and war. That's what's coming. Uh,
That's life.
that's death. Your husband scares me. He
He's got that
commits
breath.
arson.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Oh, okay.
That too. That
That's
too. Could go either
that's a
way.
Joe reference. By the way, I listened to Decide on repeat today while I was doing my work. So once again, coming in clutch. Thank you, Joe.
I listened to it on repeat on vinyl while I was finishing my draft.
It
Thank
it's
you,
the
Joe.
perfect it's the
I
perfect
started writing
album
the
for it.
acknowledgments for my book, and I was like, Joe's making it in there.
Please. Oh my gosh, yes. He would love being in a Sapphic retelling of Hamlet.
After the end. But you know
Uh,
what, Joe, if you want to read the book, it's all yours.
um,
All right, continue.
he's in the room. Your opal eyes are all I wish to see. He wants what's only yours. Um, so everything's ruined. This person came in and now what am I supposed to do with this? You know, like now all I can think about is you and your opal eyes. Blue eyes come up a lot in Taylor songs, but also she told a story once about how her mom used to take her to TJ Maxx after school so they could look at the jewelry and specifically the opals because Taylor thought that they were pretty. Um, and that line, he wants what's only yours. Like the lover now has a part of the narrative the husband doesn't have anymore, or maybe never had. Like if we're looking at it from the queer narrative, then the husband literally doesn't have.
No one's ever had me, not like you.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a queer narrative, but either way.
Yeah, I mean, if it's somebody like that, the spirit meets the bone, like they know each other on this like intense, deep metaphysical level that like
Mm-hmm.
the husband never knew.
Right. Um, and then we get the chorus again. The only difference is that at the end, instead of saying now I'm covered in you, she goes, now I'm covered, and then she goes into kind of a bridge, but also kind of like a pre-verse. I don't know. The structure of the song is very strange to me.
She was just having a good time.
She is. But I kind of like how she's like, now I'm covered and clover blooms in the fields. Like she's covered and she can't think of anything else other than this person. So rapid fire through this. Clover blooms in the fields. If we're thinking about clovers, I wrote, they're feeling a little lucky, mayhaps. What's I'm gonna. All
You
right.
were like, Taylor's using weird words. I'm going to use weird words. Mayhaps.
Mayhaps. So they're feeling lucky. They feel like luck's on their side. Spring breaks loose. The time is near. Like something is happening. Spring represents like the blossoming of flowers, growth, all that sort of thing.
And
What
also
would
they're
he?
in from the snow. So
Oh,
no,
yes. So
they
spring
are
breaks
other
loose.
spring.
Yeah. And like things are going to be good. What would he do if he found us out? Like maybe they're being a little more reckless now, but there's still that fear. Um, Crescent
And that also,
moon.
wait, sorry, the spring thing again makes me think of like spring breaks loose. So it's like everybody around them is in this winter, and meeting this other person makes them leave winter and like bloom into spring. And they're like, what if everybody finds out that we love each other because we're both just like so happy in a way that we didn't used to be?
Oh yeah. I'm thinking like if this ever got a music video, it would be in black and white, and then for this part, like they're in color. That would be
Mm,
cool.
they're in screaming color.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. So crescent moon, coast is clear. Genius pointed out that this could be about how like when the crescent moon is happening, you only see a sliver of the moon, but the whole thing is still there. It's just most of it's invisible. And so that could be representative of this like secret love that's still there, but they're hiding it.
And everybody only sees the friendship part of it, but in
Right.
truth, there's the whole hidden moon moment.
Exactly. Moons also are a cycle. They are, we all know moons have a cycle. And it can mean like birth and death and things like that of like a new things happening, which goes along with like spring breaks loose. Um, and she says spring breaks loose again, much like in Dress, where she says that I watched like a best friend multiple times. Um, but so does fear, which kind of reminds me of I didn't come up with this myself, who am I kidding? Pandora's box. Like spring breaks loose, all these wonderful feelings are happening, but also fear is there as well. Like the deeper they get into this, that threat still hangs above them and it's getting closer. He's gonna burn this house to the ground. Here's where the arson comes in.
You can't burn a stone house though. Who's gonna tell him?
He's gonna tell the husband that it's not possible. You're gonna have to find another way. Um, but yeah, basically saying that if he finds out, he will destroy everything I have. He'll destroy this foundation. My home will be gone. It'll be burned to the ground. Um, and then we get into this last little bit here. How's one to know I'd live and die for moments that we stole on begged and borrowed time? The loves become an all-encompassing obsession. And I love that like on begged and borrowed time. Like these are little moments that they can steal away to be with each other and all of a sudden it's everything.
They're secret glances in a crowded room.
Exactly.
Secret moments, I should say, because that's the lyric.
So tell me to run or dare to sit and watch what will become and drink my husband's wine. Um,
Come on.
come on,
Come on. Taylor.
Taylor. I'm curious to know what you think about this line because I've always been a bit confused by it.
The the husband's wine or the tell me to run? Or
All of it, that whole section. I wrote my own interpretation, but I'm curious to know what you think.
I have always thought of it as like tell me to run or sit and watch. Like the two options are she's like, I don't have the strength to just like leave of my own volition, even though I know that's probably what's for the best. So it's like
Mm,
the options are you tell me you don't want this, or we sit here and we wait until shit hits the fan because it will hit the fan
right.
eventually. But like the options are leave it and leave all the good things and the potential of bad, or stay with the good things until they become bad things. And
That's
then
true.
also like the implication of like and drink my husband's wine is like the husband clearly knows and trusts this other person to a degree of like, this person's at the narrator's house drinking their husband's wine.
Hmm.
Or maybe the husband owns a vineyard and that's why Taylor doesn't want to break up with him because she's like, free wine for life. I'm
True.
supposed to leave that?
Oh, she lives on a vineyard. That's hard to give up.
And that would be a real bummer if you burn that to the ground. Like old growth vineyards,
Mm,
very, very expensive wine.
yeah, that's true.
So that's my interpretation.
All right. Well, I thought something similar. Like she's saying, "Tell me to leave him or watch me stay with him." Basically,
So that's interesting because you thought of it as like saying, "Tell me to run from my husband," and I thought of it as
yes,
"Tell me to run from the lover."
right. Yeah, that
So
is
I love
interesting.
that we went the
It's like,
opposite, but like same. They can work both ways, which is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Just the queer experience going both ways. Um, anyway, we have to make as many gay jokes as possible. It's our queer episode.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Um, so when she talks about my husband's wine, I always imagine this as the the lover. I called this lover Ivy, which makes sense but is deeply confusing me. Anyway, watching the lover be inside the house of stone, like they're literally drinking the wine of the husband together while the husband's gone or something, which is really risky. And they're being like, what would he do if he came home and found us out? He'd burn this whole place to the ground. Um,
Or like, what would he do if he came home and realized that there was two dirty wine glasses in the sink?
exactly. But it's a reminder of like we are drinking my husband's wine. Like I am taken. I'm a taken woman. I'm married. Um,
Yeah, need. You know that TikTok sound?
oh yeah. It's also possible um that she's sort of representing herself as like her husband's wine that the lover is drinking. Like I'm my husband's wine. It's almost like she belongs to her husband, which
Mhm.
that's a very outdated ideology. Women don't belong to
But
their husbands, but
this whole song just feels very like 1800s,
yes,
1900s energy.
it really does, which fits with like the Dickinson stuff, everything we've been talking about. All right. Then we get into the final chorus. The chord in the background of this final chorus is different a little bit at the beginning, and I think it sounds cool. Um, we get a cute little bridge moment. It's very quick. It's just basically, it's a fire, it's a blaze in the dark, and you started it. It's a war, it's the fight of my life, and you started it. I put that all together because it basically shows how much this affair has both destroyed and rejuvenated the narrator. So it's a fire in the dark. It's going to burn my house down. You started it. It's a war. I'm fighting for my life. You started it by being in my life. Um, but maybe it's not blame. Maybe it was just like the catalyst for destruction that was bound to happen.
Yeah, I've always thought of it as more of a like catalyst of like if I had never met you, I probably would have gone on being like passively content.
Mm-hmm.
But now like when you're in like an actual passionate loving relationship and then you're also married to someone else, that's gotta be a hard dichotomy. That's like you started, I can't help but feel this way because you're amazing and I love
Mm-hmm.
you. So like you started this and it's not stopping.
Right.
It's the fight of my life trying to figure out how to balance it
Yeah.
because I can't give up the vineyards.
It's exactly never give up the vineyards. The last thing is that the clean version of the song, it's a violent blaze in the dark and the fiercest fight of my life. I really like violent blaze in the dark. I think that's a really nice change. Fiercest fight I don't love as much, but I just like to point that out because I like thinking about like how she replaces some of these lyrics. All right, we made it through. We made it through. We already went over my discussion questions, so we did it.
Things that we did that.
That.
And next week we will be off
Mm-hmm.
for a brief break.
Because it's the week before my birthday. And
And then
then
it'll be birthday episode,
and
which,
then there'll
as
be
you know
birthday
from our
episode.
Joe episode, it will be a different artist that we definitely haven't already talked about doing.
It's
It'll
gonna
be
be
a
such a
total
surprise. No
surprise.
one knows what I'm gonna be covering. Especially if you think about a re-release that might be happening 4 days before my birthday.
Fine, everything's fine. Nobody knows anything.
Nobody knows anything. So that'll be really fun, and it'll come out like the day before my birthday, which will be super fun. And then you guys can all wish me a happy birthday. But next week
Oh.
we will not have an episode. So sorry about
Yes,
that.
so just maybe listen to this one again. Maybe
Yeah.
go back if you skipped an episode
Or just feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at SwiftLorePod.
and on TikTok as a Floor Pod.
Or leave us a nice little 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You can also like write something there. We just got a new one that was super sweet. They said
It's so,
karma is this podcast.
which I love that. I
So
love it.
cute.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait,
That
I
was
want to look at her
great.
name.
Yeah.
Gotta give the proper shout
Credit
out.
where credit is due. So we love that. We love having people reach out to us in the DMs just to
Thank you,
comment on the episode, send
Kylie
us
Pup.
real. Kylie Pop, thank you. Thank you, bestie. So we love that. So go ahead and rate us. If you go on Spotify, you can answer our polls there.
No
Instagram, we've got reels
Q&A.
and stories and things. We're kind of everywhere. So just take your
We're
pick.
everywhere, and soon we'll be on Patreon. I know we said it was going to launch in June. It's looking a little bit more like July, but in June there will be more details.
I'm
Um,
taking 2 classes this month and they're like accelerated 5-week courses. So I'm a little overwhelmed right now, but we'll
and
get that Patreon out.
I just finished edits of my book, and then my editor has it, and then I'm gonna get it back, and then I'm gonna have to do more edits, and then I'm gonna have to give it back, and then I'm gonna do more edits, and then I'm gonna publish it. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yay.
that's time, time,
It's
wondrous time. You know,
exactly. It's gonna be, we've got amazing things ahead. So thank you for sticking around with us. I know we haven't been like as present on social media, but we try to get these episodes out every week anyway, except for next week when we have our little breaky break. And other
that's
than that, we can't do a crispy high five because we're not in the same room.
that was sad. That felt sad.
That was sad, but
It was just a lonely little clap. Just think of the sound of a high five, and
yeah, think of it.
that's what it would sound like if we were in the same room and not apart.
Exactly. And other than that, I love you very much, Kat, and I can't wait to record in person with you next time.
Oh my God, yeah. This was fine, but I miss
I
I miss
know
it.
it hits different, but
How did we record without Spear mauling you first?
it's like it's what we have to do to like get in the zone, you know?
Exactly.
Well, I'm gonna
My
go
Spear
eat
had to be
dinner
annoying.
and take a
Ooh, that's a good
quiz
idea.
and then edit this bad boy.
Good luck, quiz.
Thank you. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Spear, can you stop staring at the door forlornly? Nobody's coming over.
It's because I should be there.
She's like, you're sitting on the podcast couch where you sit with Abby, and I have to listen to you talk about Taylor Swift, and there's not even an Abby here to be distracted by.
Times are
She looks
rough.
genuinely glum.
Get it rough.
Got it. I got it. I got it.